When I go to teach international relations, I tell them that the most influential embassy in Uganda is the Vatican Embassy because it controls over the churches. Where is the influence of Britain? Where is the influence of Germany?
America.
In 1980, when I was still a deep active in the Democratic Party, Semogere was very close to the Christian Democrats. In fact, the reason why Semogere decided to go to Parliament after the election, the Germans were influencing the Democratic Party. Everybody who wanted to travel in the DP would go to Germany because the Germans were influencing decisions in the Democratic Party. When the president came here for the last 10 years, do you know, you ask the people here, who is the representative of IMF? Who is the representative of the World Bank here?
They don't know.
People don't know. How many times have you seen the representative of World Bank signing a loan agreement with the Minister of Finance? None. None completely. So whoever drug is in, whoever drug is in, because it is a propaganda.
Kofi Annan,
the Democratic Party demanded that the election should be monitored. When they went back, the report said the elections were fair according to European standards. Yes, because you see, the excitement about Europeans in Uganda is not there. I normally hear these drama groups. What is Uganda? The moment you drag in the foreigners, this is the mistake of Mbabazi. Dragging in the American ambassador. You see, Ugandans, you talk about American ambassador. Except these poor people who go for visas. What is the influence? Where do we see the influence that this hospital, when you go in the villages, you will say hospital. This hospital was built on money collected from Ireland, the Catholic hospitals. Where is the American hospital? Bilateral. You want to feel it. Back to the solid. You want to see solid physically.
Honorable John Patrick Amamba says all Muslims' ideas are actually Mbabazi's ideas. Even the Mbabazi getting from now, it doesn't matter. If anybody has a matter, then they must have a matter because
when you see somebody claiming an idea, then you doubt his intellectual capacity. Because how do we develop scholars? Why do we read other people's books? The argument, we are not arguing who should be paid the money because of ideas. What we are arguing, what if you think defeated teams don't have coaches? You can get a best coach, but in fact you inculcate these skills into your players. From this man, what about, in fact, in many political parties, the Politburo has a thinking tank. You get people, bright students, bright people, and you put them at the secretariat to formulate policies. So if everybody is going to demand to own an idea, then we shall be in trouble. The Japanese will demand that before you acknowledge that this vehicle comes from Japan. How much money did we collect, those who are using AK-47, when this man died?
Kalashnikov.
Yeah. Did we contribute to Mabuko?
For Kalashnikov.
It is very dangerous. It is a very dangerous thinking. They were saying, this UPA is not from 7. This was the Kajubi committee, but how many committees have recommended policies that have not been done? You see, when the students pass,
but even then, Tamale,
that is not an argument. In fact, it is logically what Mbabazi is saying. It doesn't need to come. Why? If the man is already implementing your ideas, then you have no importance of coming. So it works against Mbabazi himself. Yes. When Mbabazi says, once you subject these people that analysis, then why should Ugandans vote for Mbabazi? Yes. If his ideas are being implemented by himself? Yes. Is that what you say? Yes. Do you change a house girl into a woman because she cooks well? Let's have cook well there. So that the woman does other important work. You live the house girl in the kitchen. This is what she's doing. Yes. You want to say that I have good ideas, but I cannot implement them. But if you are arguing that your ideas are implemented by somebody, remain where you are. In fact, I read in American history, there were two presidents, Madison and another one. They were having different ideas. So they agreed that let us, for the time for the first 8 years, be president, and this one becomes the vice president. Then after this one, the other one should come to implement, so that the America needs all of your ideas. Because, but if one is Madison, I think, there's another one. They share. James Madison. Because, but they did not say, if your ideas are being, when you see a defender coming to score, he's telling you, the scorers are failed. All my scores are being mishandled.
Tamale, yesterday President Museveni had a press conference in Arua at Arua State Lodge. And prominently, the things that came out there was, when I lose the election, I shall hand over power. Secondly, if I win this election, I know I have to stop, because the Constitution is very clear on that. At the age of 75, I cannot seek another term. The Constitution is there, I will respect it. Now, Ugandans are saying, we have seen Ugandans not respecting the constitutions, especially. This happens in almost all camps, where somebody says, I want one term, and after one term, they come back and say, no, please, Entebbe Woma, we need to continue with this.
You see?
As that comes out when President Museveni is saying, in 2016, if I lose this election, I shall hand over power. FDC has come out to say, we've already made the budget for 2016-2017 financial year. FDC has already prepared the budget. Now, to them, that means
that's empty talk.
They are the ones winning the election. They are starting with salaries for teachers and giving them this low salaries.
That's empty talk. During the CA, there was an arrogant man who drafted his own document that the CA should discuss, not aware that the person who was mandated to write a document was the Constitutional Commission. In fact, the argument of Mbabas can be answered because I did mass communication and we use similes, simple stories, precise and very understood. When a woman is pregnant and she suffers from a miscarriage, she is taken to hospital to find out why the money does not go. Why? The man put the stomach in the right place. They take it. It's the woman who has a problem. So you will quarrel that this man, I give him good ideas, but he does not implement them. The man is implementing them. So where are you coming? Where do you come? This talk about making is that arrogance. You find the man like this, you say, big greater one, who are you? You have, because they have suffered a series, they are looking for something new. I said that Besigye is like a Luzinda releasing a nude tape.
Desire
Luzinda. If Desire Luzinda releases a nude tape to sell, there must be new features developing that people did not see earlier. But if it can bring back the same. If the tape contains the same chitoni, and they don't buy. The problem with the Besigye's ideas is that he has repeated. Why don't you give way? Why don't you give way? Because it is embarrassing when you say the one who is defeated must remain, the winner should go. No, in Mweso. For us, we're going to have Mweso. Atema Yasikalawu. A man who defeats, he can sit on the chair. Until he gets a person to defeat him. You didn't just change the rules. You don't surrender power to a weak person. Then what's the purpose of the question of the constitution? Many people think, what is the purpose of a constitution? A constitution is a working document. That's why a constitution contains 20 provisions. Can it be abused anytime because no, it's amendable. Why does a constitution provide that? You see, a constitution tells you abrogating a constitution and amending a constitution according to provisions is different. A rape and a marriage. A rape and a marriage, they occur in the same places. But one is legal, another one is illegal. Amending a constitution and abrogating the constitution, these are two different things. So, a constitution, like the American Constitution, you don't amend the Kisanja. Anywhere you find, what's the difference between a door and a chair and a window? The difference between a chair and a window is the size and the purpose. That unless you are in trouble, you are not supposed to go through the window. But they are all made in the same material. So therefore, What it requires is, yes, will Museveni amend the constitution note? And in many cases, when the president says that when I lose, I will hand over power, this is expected. It's like saying, when I die, I will be buried. Is there another alternative? No. But these people are saying, a misunderstanding, yakiriza. Why? These questions come from Mbabazi. Mbabazi who is using psychological technology.
It's because of the crowds that we're seeing, but President Museveni is actually pulling more crowds this time than we even thought, especially in Uganda. The crowd that is pulling there, I think, are even enormous. They are more than you could think about. And why is he conceding according to people?
No, he can't. You see, the problem you have is that this, in fact, the person who should do appreciate, who should be given a medal. There is a medal, not these ones that this committee gives after getting a money and a lot of lobbying. But I hear there is a medal that can be given to Kayihura. Why? Kayihura has effectively denied the opposition the opportunity of causing chaos.
Kayihura.
Because what they are saying in rallies does not carry anything. In fact, that's why newspapers in Uganda, in many cases, don't carry stories about the elections. In fact, the newspaper said it's a law. They said it's a law. Why? There is nothing. I have never seen, witnessed any election where corruption does not feature prominently in Africa. Ask why. Ask why in Uganda corruption has not taken center stage. Why is it that the opposition is not taking the government on task because of corruption? They are corrupt themselves. They stink. They are keeping skeletons in their cupboards. That's why they cannot raise their heads. So this tells you, when the president says, I will hand over power, but it does not mean the election is like a wedding. A wedding is a combination of many factors. If the president says that have been defeated and the party sits and says let us seek legal action, what will he do?
Because he's a party property.
No,
he's a party.
The elections are not his own. So Museveni as an individual, this is what is expected. But if you ask such a question, it will basically say which there's no one can lose. Then why? Where are you there? We used to do it in the primary schools. They either win or they lose. We either win or they lose. That if for you, you will win. How? What type of reasoning is this?
Tamale, one final in the interest of time. Your wife going to DP. Everybody's talking about it. It's all over the papers. Tamale Mirundi's wife goes to DP. It has become an issue now.
Unlike you, who has one wife, for me, I don't have one. In fact, in Uganda, I have a proverb that a man with the two wives is also a mukopi. Because even two wives are not enough. A rich Muganda must have six.
We have one another copy.
Yes, because when you say that the Christianity requires one wife, did Adam have a choice? Did he have a choice? If you go to a hotel and there is no menu, there is only one item, do you have a choice? So Adam did not have a choice. Yes.
All it's going to do not have choices.
Yes.
For Adam.
So for me, I'm a Christian, but I look at it differently. So therefore, why don't you talk about my wife who is an NRM, the one of Chenge?
So you have another wife who is an NRM?
Yes.
In Chenge?
No, where did I come from? Catholics, it is incumbent and mandatory to us to belong to the Democratic Party.
As Catholics?
As Catholics.
And your wife is Catholic?
I was in the DP in 1980. I was a very active member of the Democratic Party. Your
wife has not just joined DP?
No, she was there.
She's been DP all along. And you've been with her when she's DP?
Yes, which one?
Because this is marriage.
No. If I want to produce children, do I go to the Democratic Party leadership to apply that my wife should produce children?
No, you don't.
Where does the Democratic come in my daily lives? As long as she fulfills her role as a wife, I don't mind where she belongs. This is not religion.
Do you discuss politics at home with your wife?
The wife of a sheikh or a mufti has been found in a poker joint. This is not religion. No,
that the pastor's wife is selling.
In fact, it is better to come up because you see, in many families, they have problems, but they sit on them. If you want to belong with the Democratic Party, you go. It does not affect you.
Where does DP? Because they should come with DP in the house and president with DP, or it stops somewhere in their rallies and headquarters.
Yes, for example, me, I don't have time for Ndongo. I will go to Ndongo when I'm 70. Have you ever seen me in Ndongo? I have no time or priorities. Ndongo is not my priority now. But if you have a wife who enjoys Ndongo or who is a soccer fan, what do? You fight every day.
Because she's going to watch.
We don't marry our sisters. Therefore, we come with the different ideas. We did not grow up together. Somebody grew up with it. That's why you Africans, you have a lot of problems in the marriage. Why? You think that it's a woman to have her own interests. Is
an issue.
As well as about
Sarah Musumba, Isaac Musumba, we've seen those.
Yes.
We've seen several others in Juba and
Never going to go to church.
That would in Juba and the
but my
son in
children and these two wives, the two wives are Catholics. Very strong Catholics.
One is NRA.
This one you are talking about goes to church every morning. She leaves me reading my books.
She goes to church.
I'm a stronger Catholic.
Who does not go to church? We'll stop it here. Thank you so much, Mr. Tamale Mirundi. We'll hand you back to Jackie Chalgonza, and thereafter, of course, Tumini and Rena Kajumba will be coming with business today. It's a Friday today, and we just want to wish you the best of the weekend. But also just remind you, Pope Francis is expected in Uganda next week. We're only counting 6 days to see the Holy See. Visit Uganda, the third of the popes coming to Uganda. Thank you so much for being with us. May the good Lord bless you. Forgotten my country, Uganda. Good morning.
Well, we're glad that every Friday you make it a day to be on GMU agenda and get to learn more about politics. That is when Jagenda Semakula does host here on the show. Tamale, who is the presidential media consultant, they always get to discuss different topical issues, it being that we are heading to 2016 general elections. Well, thank you for having tuned in onto UBC and watching Good Morning Uganda from the hour of 7 up to now. It's just exactly 9 in the morning here in Kampala. Well, today is a Friday. Hope you have yourself a lovely or blessed weekend. Remember to go to church and do not drink and drive. It's very important. Always first think about your family before doing or before drinking or before driving under the influence of alcohol. Well, for me and the rest of the Good Morning Uganda crew here, have yourselves a blessed weekend. Business comes on shortly, and please do not miss out on our bulletin, that is the news channel at 1 with Jordan Lukoma. Good morning.
TV.
You know Blue Band helps my child grow.